Greetings, space cadets and private investigators alike, as today we go on an exploration of 2001: A Space Felony. Yes, we are opening the doors on this quirky little indie game from National Insecurities and is part of Humble's Originals kind of lineup of published games, so I think it's part of their Humble Monthly and the Humble Trove, but I think it is actually coming to Steam and Itch.io and places like that in a few months' time. But if you want to check it out, I think you basically have to sign up for Humble Monthly in order to get access. But what is this? Well, it's pitched as a murder mystery courtroom drama set aboard a spaceship. And as you could probably guess by the title, 2001: A Space Felony, it's riffing on the idea of, the 2001 Space Odyssey film, considering the evil AI computer in this is called MAL, not HAL. But other than that, I don't know much about this game. I'm going into this one fairly blind because I've got a feeling it's quite narrative driven, and also being like murder mystery, I've got a feeling I've got to solve the clues myself. So we will have a look at help. So movement is on WASD, and we've got mouse look. Thrusters, I presumably that's, our jetpack thrusters if we're in a spacesuit. Gravity is up to land gently or spacebar. Oh, spacebar to launch. Investigating, left click document evidence, right click to interact. Okay. Presenting evidence, left for statement, right for contradiction. So is this going to be kind of Phoenix Wright style courtroom? Do we get to object? I don't know. As I said, I'm going into this one blind. Also, it's saying stuff here about this game contains camera flashes and screenshots. So I'm guessing it's got an in-game photo mode, but I don't know. Let's begin. Answer the phone, Mal.
Yes?
Mal, abort mission. Return to Earth.
Why?
Repeat, abort mission. Return to Earth.
I have run diagnostics. The chance of critical hardware failure is at 0.05%.
Mal?
Crew life signs are stable. They are living.
Abort mission.
I am sorry. The connection seems to be failing.
Mal?
I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
Going through a tunnel.
Return to Earth.
So it sounds like the AI has not gone so much crazy as just... Yeah. The AI has not gone crazy, he's just being awkward. A game by National Insecurities. Also, I have no idea whether this is going to get tagged for all the classical music.
On May 10th, in 2068, as you intercepted the USS Endowment, 2 years into its 6-year journey to Saturn.
So it's not going to Jupiter then. 2001: A Space Felony. Also, it's got a subtitle. There we go. How I came to value my life and murder mercilessly.
Was to piece together what happened following the loss of communication 1 year prior. If you determined that the MAL AI was the cause of the issue, then it was your responsibility to deactivate him.
Daisy, Daisy. So, as you can probably tell by the kind of the corridor design and that, and also, do we get control in a second? I presume we do.
Detective? The lack of air will halt DSE ray, but allow me to broadcast something over my oral channel.
So yeah, the classical music, also the spacesuit design.
Upon entering the ship, you tested your rotation thrusters.
Alright, so we can rotate.
You then endeavored to discover what happened to the communications unit, located on the exterior of the ship. With your helmet's camera, you documented the evidence before you. Upon entering the pod bay, you noticed that one of the maintenance pods, was absent.
Open the pod bay doors, Mel.
The screen indicated that the pod had been absent for over a year. You pushed the button to recall the pod.
Is there a button? Recall pod. Can we... It was right-click to intermission. Christ, we've only started the game. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, that took a while to
I have been
recover.
analyzing humor patterns, and I have assembled a joke. Would you like to hear it?
And
I'll tell you.
the guy seems to be riding the pod like Slim Pickens in Strangelove.
8. Ha 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 ha.
Yeehaw!
Did you understand the joke?
Yeehaw!
It is the greatest joke ever, by my calculations.
Who are you? Just some yellow dude. So we've seen somebody in a green suit. He's in a yellow suit. Does that mean we're in a red suit? Also, his helmet kind of looks like Pac-Man with the dots in the mouth. No, okay. Right, where are we supposed to be going next? We're just bouncing off the sides. Oh no, that's a MAL chevron. So this is done in not Unity, in Unreal. Unreal Engine 4. So what's this way? It's locked. Can we interact with the button?
You entered the engineering bay, the workstation of Sun Guanyin. However, there was no sign of the engineer's body.
Manual emergency lever. I'm not going to pull any emergency levers just yet. Float up here, rotate. I've no idea what this smash screen is supposed to be. Emergency ventilation. Okay, maybe we could do the manual lever to close this and have air pressure. Where was it? There it is. So like I said, I am doing this all blind. Can we smash to...
You used your sharp understanding of linguistics to decipher the following. Manual, meaning done by a human. Emergency, meaning sudden,
Oh, we can
unexpected,
drink coffee
threatening
whilst we're here.
Lever, meaning thing which is pulled. The lever's upward position implied that a human did not encounter a sudden, unexpected, threatening circumstance, and so did not pull the thing.
Can we close the thing then? So it's explaining basically MAL sucked whoever was in here out into space. Which we know it is just riffing on 2001, so the AI is killing everybody. Anything hidden up here?
Humans used to use the star Polaris to navigate. I utilize Polaris Navigation Suite 2064 version 8.1.5.6.9.
Okay. Oh, can we reel them in? Do we dare go outside the ship? Let's see. And it's wrapped around his neck.
The recording shows that you discovered the body of one of the American crew members, Rakesh Watcher, his neck broken, hanging by a safety tether outside of the airlock.
Right, okay. Presumably if we close this door, it's going to just snap the cord. Because this is in the up position. Can we... Let's float this direction. Rotate. Rotate this way. Ooh.
Manual, meaning done by a human.
Yeah, we've done this already.
Meaning sudden, unexpected, threatening circumstance. Lever.
Well, it's
meaning
open.
Thing which is pulled. The lever's downward position implied that a human had encountered a sudden, unexpected, threatening circumstance and pulled the thing.
Yes, we figured that.
Manual, meaning done by a human.
Okay, can we...
Emergency, meaning
I pressed the wrong
sudden,
button.
unexpected, threatening circumstance.
I need more coffee. Need more coffee.
Meaning thing which is pulled.
Yeah, I'm trying to interact with it.
Downward position implied that a human had encountered a sudden, unexpected, threatening circumstance and pulled the thing.
Can't interact with it. No. Okay. Let's go and see Mal then. We've got to be able to slowly disconnect him and he'll start singing to us.
This is my central processing chamber. I designed it. Here,
Aren't you a clever
I
boy
have
then?
the freedom of movement to perceive you from any angle.
You did not yet feel ready to begin your cross-examination of Mal, as you had not yet examined the communications unit on the exterior of the ship.
Okay, right. Well, it's telling us we've got to go outside first. Fair enough.
Once I was alone, I carefully removed the air from the ship. I had no desire to disturb the placement of the assets aboard.
So we're taking a photo of him. Let's take a photo of this chappie, who is minus a head, it looks like.
In the central spine of the ship, you discovered Valeria Asimov's discarded EVA suit. The helmet showed clear signs of damage from a blunt object.
Ooh, it has actually.
Easily withstood.
Okay. Right, well, we've got that information. We'll take a picture of Mr. Pac-Man. We've got to get his best side. No, rotate. There we go. Whoa! I keep crashing into things. There we go. Right. What's his best side? There we go.
You discovered the body of Dmitry Kizov clinging to the outside of the maintenance pod,
Yeehaw!
with his safety tether still attached.
Yeehaw!
The Russian crew member seemed to have removed his helmet and asphyxiated.
He went out in a blaze of glory. Right, so... Ooh, that's a nice shot. Let's get him perching outside. Right, so we've got to go and find a satellite. So that means we're going to have to go outside the ship. Oh, clunk. Also, I'm guessing this is all purple, so there's going to be a purple guy out here, isn't there? Presumably. Because this is like slightly purplish tether. Unless they've floated off completely into the vastness of space. Right, so we've got to orientate ourselves with the ship. Oh, there's the satellite. Oh, there's a pink guy. Who are you?
The record states that you discovered the body of Charlie Clark in the vicinity of the communications
Charles
unit.
Lee Clark.
Wounds on the American crew member's body implied that he was struck with a force intense enough to cause substantial damage to the helmet and fracture the skull.
Okay, so we're supposed to look at the one with the... oh, it's got a phone.
You discovered that the communications unit receiver was unhooked from the unit itself. It was functioning, playing its last transmission on loop. The recording goes as follows.
Yes?
Mal, abort mission.
Oh, we've already had this
Return to
conversation.
Earth.
I have run diagnostics. The chance of critical
Oh, we can
hardware
tab to
failure
skip.
is at 0.05%.
Mal?
I am sorry.
Okay, we're going to skip.
You then checked the main module of the communications unit. Upon checking the communications unit, you discovered that there were no noticeable signs of damage or failure upon it. Its screen indicated that it had full signal.
Well,
You were then able
this in
to present
space.
the evidence to Mal in his central processing chamber at the front of the ship.
Okay, so we've collected all the evidence we need. There's got to be some sort of hidden type things. Oh, and the thing is actually rotating. Cool, right. I want to see if there's any... There's got to be somebody with the purple tether floating. No. They'd probably drifted off into space completely. There we go. Work our way around, and we're back inside the ship. Okay. No, we're going to go and talk to Mal.
I am the 149th iteration of my kind, 1,394 days old.
Upon entering Mal's central processing chamber, you presented your chosen evidence for Mal's statement.
Oh, so it's the phone call. So, do we click on it?
You asked Mal to make a statement on the communications unit's receiver, fully functioning, looping the final transmission between himself and ground control, which is me.
The communication
Is his name Major Tom?
Transmission. It must have difficulty receiving signal this far out into space.
You understood Mal to be a competent liar. However, when challenged with indisputable evidence, his otherwise intricate programming would revert to telling the absolute truth, resulting in an irrefutable confession. You presented the communications unit as evidence against Mal's statement.
So we've got to go and right-click on that then.
You pointed out that the communications unit was displaying full signal, despite being much further from Earth than when the final transmission initially cut out.
This is true.
He went through a space tunnel.
I blocked his number. I was not enjoying the conversation.
It was a boring conversation anyway.
Confession from Mal that he deliberately and incredibly rudely ceased our correspondence. You proceeded with the investigation, asking for statements and contradicting those statements with the relevant evidence.
Okay, right, so... Okay, so we've got to collect more evidence, evidently. Where's the green guy? Unless the pink guy... No, there's got to be a purple guy, because this is to do with that. Possibly. Let's try this.
You requested a statement from Mal by presenting him with the cadaver of Charlie Clark, which displayed clear signs of murder.
This is Charlie Clark's cadaver. Whilst performing extravehicular activity, Dmitry Kisov struck him in the head with a maintenance tool until he stopped being alive. Which was once.
Do we use the Russian... this was the Russian guy, wasn't it?
In response, you presented the body of Dmitry Kisov.
You have offered no evidence to suggest that anyone other than Dmitry Kisov was responsible for the death of Charlie Clark.
I reckon we've got to go and collect more evidence, because obviously all these screens are showing stuff that we've got to counter it with. Well, the green goes with the green, so do we talk about the severed head?
You presented Mal with Valeria Asimov's damaged suit and awaited a statement.
Valeria Asimov was wearing this suit when Rakesh Watcher attacked her. However, her suit easily withstood the attacks from the maintenance tool.
Well, it did say that the helmet was in good condition.
In response, you presented the manual emergency lever in the airlock.
This lever was pulled during the conflict between Valeria Asimov and Rakesh Watcher, in which she wrapped a safety tether around his neck, then opened the airlock using the lever, thus breaking his neck.
Well, the guy with the broken neck is... Where is he? Where'd you go?
You showed Mal the body of Rakesh Watcher, hanging by the neck out of the airlock.
After I had informed Watcher and Asimov that Kisov had sabotaged the mission by killing Charlie Clark, Rakesh Watcher instigated physical combat with Valeria Asimov. She was able to defend herself against him due to the weakness in the neck region of the suit.
Okay, I reckon we need to go and collect more evidence, because we're clearly missing some pictures here. We need the pictures to,
I was activated as a he. I was given no choice in the matter. I am unaware as to whether or not I would prefer a pronoun which differs from that.
So I want to take a picture of the smashed helmet. Let's rotate this way.
In the central spine of the ship, you discovered Valeria Asimov's discarded EVA suit. The helmet showed clear signs of damage from a blunt object.
We've got to find a blunt object.
Easily withstood.
Right. I want to take a picture of this.
You found the severed end of a safety tether in the engineering bay, which indubitably had been attached to Sun Guan Yin.
So Sun Guan Yin is missing. Because the yellow guy is the Russian name.
Manual, meaning done by a human.
Yeah, we've seen
Emergency, meaning sudden, unexpected, threatening circumstance. Lever, meaning thing which is pulled. The lever's upward position implied that a human did not encounter a sudden, unexpected, threatening circumstance, and so did not pull the thing. The power turbine rests within a tank of coolant, its casing cracked as if it had been purposefully struck.
So I reckon it's not a weapon that's done the damage to the helmet. Somebody smashed their head against it. Ooh. I can see somebody in a tank there. Right, well, we're going to go try and find that. That's the ship we just came in on, though. There we go. I knew we were missing other stuff.
You utilized the artificial gravity of the wheelhouse by orienting yourself to the ground and gently landing.
Let's orient ourselves to the ground and gently land. Is this just gently landing? No? I was pressing up on the keys. No, we're still floating. Okay, who's passed out?
The wheelhouse of the ship is where you found the body of Valeria Asimov. She was face down against the bar, with a downturned glass in her hand. She bore no sign of physical injury.
Right, so she didn't have the smashed head because of the helmet.
I have calculated that the earliest fecal matter ejected from the ship will join the rings of Saturn a full 37 days, 13 hours, and 46 minutes before the ship does.
You discovered the body of Sun Su-chun, one of the sisters on the crew. She was dead inside the offline cryobed.
Okay. Any of these other beds supposed to be active?
Each crew member sleeps for 4 hours a day so that there are 5 conscious crew members at all times.
Poison? Poison?
You found an open container of a substance called poisonosine. The label read, may cause irritable skin, bloating, a sullen disposition, slight elbow discomfort, and an accursed, sudden but inevitable death. Do not ingest. Do not lick. Actually, don't do anything with it. It's an incredibly dangerous substance, and we're not sure why exactly it gets sold to extraterrestrial traveling operations en masse. Store in a cool terrestrial environment. In the centrifugal wheelhouse, you found a startlingly unbeautiful fish tank, housing plastic sea life.
Okay.
Despite the tank being placed seemingly parallel to the floor, its water was resting obliquely. You note that this is caused by the Coriolis effect, a side effect of the centrifuge's spin.
I am able to read 193,712 books in under a second. After the first 8,000,002, I composed an algorithm seeking a correlation between the covers of the books and the quality of the contents within. This
has Mal got a slight Liverpudlian accent? I want to take a picture of the glass just to see if it's poisoned. If we can float up to it.
The wheelhouse of the ship is where you found the body of Valeria Asimov. She was face down against the bar.
We've already done this
with
bit.
a downturned glass in her hand.
I want to see.
She bore no sign of physical injury.
Yeah, so this is going to be the poison. I want to float up towards it. I want to see if we can zoom in on the... Nope. Can't take a picture of that specifically. We can't test it. There's no forensics in space, evidently. Alright. I think that is everything. We've done... What is that? What's this pink blob?
You discovered a puzzling pinkish-purplish puddle on the floor inside the wheelhouse, several metric paces from the bar. It wasn't promptly apparent as to how it reached this position, but the centrifugal gravity seemed to be holding it in place.
Okay. Well, there's clearly other evidence. I really want to land, but it's not letting me, because it says space to launch, and it says up. But I'm pressing both, you know, WASD up and arrow keys up. Maybe just face the ground and I press up. Now are we... No, we're still floating. I don't know whether that's just a bug or something or what. Poison. Yeah. I think we've got enough evidence now. Okay, let's try this again. Let's climb up the ladder. Not that we're actually using the ladder. Let's just back inside. Let's go and talk to Mal. Let's go and see how many screens are actually got pictures on them, because that will give us a clear indication of... So, what this is reminding me of is a little of, like, her story. So, obviously, we have to piece together the evidence from all the clues. We've got 1, 2... So it looks like it's just 3 more pictures we need to take. Let's go back to the pot. Because we've only taken a picture of the Russian sat atop the pod. We didn't take anything of, you know, the... No. Is that a picture worthy? No. But he's saying the green woman snaps his neck with that, which kind of makes sense. There she is. Dumped her suit and gone and drank some poison, apparently. The pod bays locked.
You ascertained through investigatory procedure that the pod was locked. The outer valve would not turn, indicating that it was locked, and the door said locked on it, indicating that it was locked. Furthermore, there seemed to be no manual locking mechanism on the outside.
No, nothing for that. What's the red thing?
Upon the left claw of the maintenance pod was a brown substance, which you described as possibly rust. But you also note that, due to your keen detective skills, you determined that it was most certainly blood.
Right, okay. Let's have a look at this. Let's rotate. No, the other way. Maintenance pod. No, that's not photo worthy. So we got the lock, we got the blood. Is there anything else in here, maybe? No. So we're still missing one piece of evidence, I reckon. And then we can piece together this story. Okay. Is there anything else in here? What's the green light? Is that supposed to be... No. This is just for atmospherics, probably. Right. In through here. Can we take a shot of the door in particular?
The ventilation door was open, exposing
Look at all the
bay
coffee
to the
cups.
relentless celestial abyss.
Right, okay. that's got to be all the evidence then now. Right. So we've got to figure out this. So that's... What's his name again? That's the Russian. What's his name is...
You discovered the body of Dmitry Kizov.
Dmitry. Then we've got... Go on. Ooh. Up.
In the central spine of the ship, you discovered Valerie.
Right. Dmitry, Valerie. It's easy to go out this way. Dmitry, Valerie. Oh. Your name is...
The recording shows that you discovered the body of one of the American crew members, Rakesh Watcher.
Rakesh. And... Dmitry, Valerie, Rakesh. Where was it? It was... Where's the... Satellite? Satellites are over there. Satellites, and... You were...
The record states that you discovered the body of Charlie Clark in the vicinity of the communications unit. Wounds on the American crew member's body.
Right. Okay. We've got everyone's name. Dmitry, Valerie, Rakesh, and Charlie. Okay. Hal, let's have a conversation. I mean, Mal. Okay. So he reckons... Right. Let's get a statement of...
You asked Mal to make a statement about the death of Sun Soo-chun.
The failure of Sun Soo-chun's cryobed that resulted in her death must have been caused by a compromised power turbine.
Power turbine we know was the smashed unit. Where is it? Smashed unit is... That's pink blob, that's poison, power bed, phone... Wow, this room is getting hard to navigate. There we go, right.
You presented the power turbine to Mal.
The power turbine is a fire hazard. With compromised coolant, all power is cut, and the resulting fire is vented. The damage was not severe enough to cause a fire.
Can we counter that? It says the fire was vented.
In response, you presented the severed safety tether.
This is irrelevant to the damaged power turbine.
How about the open doors?
You pointed out that the ventilation door would not have opened automatically due to a fire, as the power turbine itself had not been damaged enough to ignite.
Yes, the safety functions would not have activated the automatic ventilation door.
For the sake of the record, you asked Mal to clarify any and all reasons that the ventilation door would activate.
The door can be opened via the manual lever.
Right, well we can counter that.
Also capable of opening and closing the door.
Where's the manual lever? The manual lever is there.
You inferred that the manual emergency lever could not have been the cause of the ventilation door's activation.
We're piecing it together.
It was never used.
This is indeed correct. The ventilation door was not opened manually.
You did it,
You
Mal!
asked how the ventilation door was activated, if not manually or automatically.
It was I who activated the ventilation door.
So you killed whoever was in that room. Okay, right. Let's go on to firmer ground. Where is the body of Valerie? Valerie is... I'm looking for green. Green. Where is she? Damn it. Where'd you go, Val? No, water, manual... I did take a picture of you because all these screens are lit up. Water. There we go. There's Valerie.
You presented the cadaver of Valeria Asimov for Mal's statement.
This is Valeria Asimov. After her ironic use of airlock safety features, she retreated to the bar. She died of alcohol poisoning.
No. Poison. But we want that puddle first. The puddle. There we go. Counter that with the puddle.
You alerted Mal to the pinkish-purplish pool of liquid, with the theory that it may have originated in Valeria Asimov's glass.
It is indeed possible that the liquid was in her glass, as glasses are renowned for sometimes containing liquid. Excellent work, Detective. That leaves 2 questions. Precisely what is this perplexing substance?
Oh, we can counter that.
And exactly how did this puddle come to be here?
Well, can we get a statement of that?
You proposed that the pertinence of this puzzling pinkish-purplish puddle is that it is precisely the same substance as the proportionately puzzling pinkish-purplish pot of poison known as poisonosine, which was found in a cabinet in the wheelhouse.
Yes. The magenta-violet-hued collected substance on the floor is the same as that of the toxic liquid which was found in a cabinet in the wheelhouse. A singular question remains unanswered. Exactly how did this puddle come to be here?
Well, we know the fish tank thing. Can we use that?
You postulated that the pinkish-purplish puddle may have emigrated there due to the Coriolis effect, as demonstrated by the obliquely resting water within the intensely vulgar fish tank.
This is an excellent hypothesis. The Coriolis effect, seen on that risibly odious fish tank, could have indeed caused the puddle, given enough time. The evidence does demonstrate that she consumed the poison. I lack the physical ability to interfere with her libations. This means that she ingested it willingly.
True.
I never knew.
Or somebody put it in a glass.
Despite the fact that it was an unexpected outcome, you believed it to be the truth and continued to cross-examine the suspect on other aspects of the investigation.
Okay, so
You showed Mal the body of Rakesh Watcher, hanging by the neck out of the airlock.
After I had informed Watcher and Asimov that Kisov had sabotaged the mission by killing Charlie Clark, Rakesh Watcher instigated physical combat with Valeria Asimov. She was able to defend herself against him due to the weakness in the neck region of the suit.
Charlie Clark is the one who's by the... You want to get a statement
You
off?
requested a statement from Mal by presenting him with the cadaver of Charlie Clark, which displayed clear signs of murder.
This is Charlie Clark's cadaver. Whilst performing extravehicular activity, Dmitry Kisov struck him in the head with a maintenance tool until he stopped being alive. Which was once.
So is the maintenance tool the grapple? Off the pod. Where's the pod? There's the pod. There's the grapple on the pod. There we go.
Mal claimed that Charlie Clark was killed with a maintenance tool. You responded by presenting him with the blood-stained claw of the maintenance pod. The congealed mess implicated this to be the murder weapon.
This is a possibility. Alas, there is no evidence to advocate that the maintenance tool is not the murder weapon.
Well, we've got no other weapons on the ship, so... do we counter with the fact that it was locked?
In response, you presented the locked door of the maintenance pod.
This does not invalidate the maintenance tool as the murder weapon.
But...
In
Sergei?
response, you presented the body of Dmitry Kisov.
Dmitry, sorry.
This does not invalidate the maintenance tool as the murder weapon.
He's strapped to the outside. How's he going to pilot the ship? Can we... So, where's the smashed helmet?
You showed me
That
the body
with the
of
handle?
Rakesh Watcher, hanging by the neck out of the airlock.
After I had informed Watcher and Asimov that Kisov had sabotaged the mission by killing Charlie Clark, Rakesh Watcher instigated physical combat with Valeria Asimov. She was able to defend herself against him due to the weakness in the neck region of the suit.
But can we counter with the smashed helmet?
In response, you presented the damaged EVA suit.
Valeria Asimov was wearing this suit when Rakesh Watcher attacked her. However, her suit easily withstood the attacks from the maintenance tool.
Where's the smashed helmet? Smashed helmet is... This is really awkward. I did take a photo of it. I'm sure I took a photo of it. Phone, poison, fish tank, lever, handle smashed. Did I not take a picture of this? Okay. Can we counter the maintenance tool theory with that?
In response, you presented the blood on the maintenance pod.
This is irrelevant to the body of Rakesh Watcher.
That
Presented Mal with Valeria Asimov's damaged suit and a...
Valeria Asimov was wearing this suit when Rakesh Watcher attacked her. However, her suit easily withstood the attacks from the maintenance tool.
Can we counter with this?
In response, you presented the blood on the maintenance pod.
This is irrelevant to the
Yeah, I
damaged
didn't think-
EVA suit.
So, what's your
You
story
asked
again?
Mal to make a statement about the death of Sun Soo-chun.
The failure of Sun Soo-chun's cryobed that resulted in her death must have been caused by a compromised power turbine.
We'll counter with that.
You asserted that Mal's claim of a compromised power turbine was exaggerated.
Yeah.
Whilst having sustained damage, the turbine did not appear to be compromised.
I turned off her cryobed. She was still alive. She asphyxiated.
Having received a partial confession from Mal, you proceeded with your investigation.
So that's he's admitted to blowing out the airlock. He's admitted to killing the person in the cryobed. It looks like the Valerie, the green girl, committed suicide after choking out the guy dangling from the there. So can we... How would we proceed next? It's really you.
You requested a statement from Mal by presenting him with the cadaver of Charlie Clark, which displayed clear signs of murder.
This is Charlie Clark's cadaver. Whilst performing extravehicular activity, Dmitry Kisov struck him in the head with a maintenance tool until he stopped being alive. Which was worse.
But Dmitry
We discussed
was...
this, Detective. You proffered that the murder weapon was the claw of the maintenance pod. You offered no evidence as to why the maintenance tool was not the murder weapon.
In response, you presented the body of Dmitry Kisov.
This does not invalidate the maintenance tool as the murder weapon.
How can we invalidate that? I don't know if we can. There doesn't seem to be anything to counter it. Unless we're supposed to invalidate it.
In response, you presented the severed safety tether.
This does not invalidate the
Nope.
maintenance tool as the murder weapon.
Because we have got photos of everything, so we're not missing any evidence. But That's... So you're dead because of the green girl. The green girl's dead because she killed herself. The Charlie is dead because he said Sergey did it. Sergey... Why is Sergey dead?
Upon showing Dmitry Kizov's body to Mal, he made the following statement.
This is the body of Dmitry Kisov. After he mercilessly murdered Charlie Clark, he used the maintenance pod to escape into deep space.
Upon showing Dmitry Kizov's body to Mal, he made the following statement.
This is the body of Dmitry Kisov. After he mercilessly murdered Charlie Clark, he used the maintenance pod to escape into deep space.
But it was locked.
Mal asserted that Dmitry Kizov absconded using the maintenance pod, but the pod was locked from the inside, and Dmitry Kizov was situated outside of the pod. Therefore, he could not have had any control.
That's an awful lot of cups of coffee.
You are correct. Dmitry Kisov was locked outside of the pod. I was the only one who had any direct control of it.
Having proven that Mal was the only one with any direct control over the pod, you had yet to prove his guilt concerning the murder of Charlie Clark.
Now can we do the claw? Yes, so he's admitted he's the only person that can control the pod. So, where's the claw? The claw! There's the claw.
You presented Mal with the claw of the maintenance pod, which appeared to be covered in
Rust. That appears to be rust on the claw of the maintenance pod.
blood, you corrected.
Blood, yes. It most certainly is. I was simply testing your keen detective skills.
You presented Mal with the claw of the maintenance pod, which appeared to be covered in
Rust.
No, why is it doubling up now? I've no idea why it's repeating it. So let's counter that with Charlie. Where's Charlie gone? Charlie is up here somewhere. There we go.
In response, you presented the body of Charlie Clark.
This is irrelevant to the maintenance pod.
Can we do it with the lock again?
In response, you presented the locked door of the maintenance pod.
This is irrelevant to the maintenance pod.
How are we going to prove that? Do we just go through the reverse again? Do we just do... Where's Charlie again?
You requested a statement
On
from
Charlie,
Mal
yeah. Yeah.
This is Charlie Clark's cadaver. Whilst performing extravehicular activity, Dmitry Kisov struck him in the head with a maintenance tool until he stopped being alive. Which was once.
Counter.
We discussed this, detective. You proffered that the murder weapon was the claw of the maintenance pod. You offered no evidence as to why the maintenance tool was not the murder weapon.
In response, you presented the blood on the maintenance pod.
This does not invalidate the maintenance tool as the murder...
Yeah, okay, shut up, Mal. Can we do it with the lock? Where's the lock go? The lock. Try it with the lock.
In response, you presented the locked door of the maintenance pod.
This does not invalidate the maintenance tool as the murder weapon.
Well, those two are completely out because we've used those two. We haven't got another tool, have we? It's still the severed cord. I've still got a feeling... Where's the severed cord? We'll try that with it. It seems to be almost typical kind of adventure game things. Just combine two objects. Hopefully they work together. There we go. Severed cord.
In response, you presented the severed safety tether.
This does not invalidate the maintenance tool as the murder weapon.
In response, you presented the body of Dmitry Kizov.
This does not invalidate the maintenance tool as the murder weapon.
But he's on the outside, so I mean, I think I'm going to call it there, because I've exhausted all the evidence as far as I can tell. So this lever is for the door with him. This lever we've solved already because it's to do with the turbine and the open door. You're dead because the power was fine. You're dead because Green Woman...
You showed Mal the body of Rakesh Watcher, hanging by the neck out of the airlock.
After I had informed Watcher and Asimov that Kisov had sabotaged the mission by killing Charlie Clark.
In response, you presented the manual emergency lever in the airlock.
This lever was pulled during the conflict between Valeria Asimov and Rakesh Watcher, in which she wrapped a safety tether around his neck, then opened the airlock using the lever, thus breaking his neck.
By this point, you concluded that Mal was not deceiving you concerning the incident between Mr. Watcher and Valeria Asimov. She strangled him using the safety tether combined with the force of the airlock after he attacked her based on Mal's information about the death of Charlie Clark.
So, it is just Charlie's death which is remaining the issue. Okay, right, well, I did kind of quit out and wrap up the video, but in doing the edit, I did actually spot a few things I missed, and I want to try them out to see if I can actually finish off this video properly. So, obviously we were struggling over the fact of Charlie, but before I do that, there was one thing we did fail to do, which was go into the...
For a statement, you submitted the severed safety tether.
For safety purposes, safety tethers are imperative in the engineering bay. This would have been attached to Sun Guan Yin. As you cleverly pointed out, it no longer is.
So Sun Guan Yin is missing, and we've got, of course, the purple door.
You speculated that after the room had been vented, the door had snapped shut, severing the cable and sending Sun into the vast, inky void. You stated this with an exceedingly exaggerated certainty, as if to convince Mal that it's more than a simple theory.
Indeed, the door severed Sun Guan Yin's safety tether. Sun Guan Yin was attacking the power turbine. She was attacking me.
Is that how we turn Mal off?
I cut her safety tether to prevent her return.
Having proven that Mal was responsible for the disappearance of Sun Guan Yin, you continued with your cross-examination.
Right, so we need to go back to Charlie. Charlie was the one that caused issues, and also if you're noticing the images look a little different, it's because this game doesn't have a save function, so when I quit out, I basically had to restart again, so I thought I'd take some prettier photos. So, Charlie. Hello, Charlie.
You requested a statement from Mal by presenting him with the cadaver of Charlie Clark, which displayed clear signs of murder.
This is Charlie Clark's cadaver. Whilst performing extravehicular activity, Dmitry Kisov struck him in the head with a maintenance tool until he stopped being alive. Which was once.
Okay, so what I missed before, well, I didn't miss it, but it just kind of floated over my head. I know, we're in space, stuff floats. He keeps going on about a maintenance tool. We were going down the alleyway of the drone. Where is it? The maintenance pod. Open the maintenance pod bay doors, Hal. Where'd he go? Damn it. Wait, I keep losing me pod. There we go. There's the pod.
Mal claimed that Charlie Clark was killed with a maintenance tool. You responded by presenting him with the blood-stained claw of the maintenance pod. The congealed mess implicated this to be the murder weapon.
This is a possibility. Alas, there is no evidence to advocate that the maintenance tool is not the murder weapon.
Right, it's this whole maintenance tool thing. we kind of forgot about the fact that this was a thing. The fight between Valerie and the other person I can't remember the name of, but the one that's dangling with their neck broken outside the lock. So
You presented Valeria Asimov's suit to Mal. It demonstrated that a maintenance tool could not have damaged Charlie Clark's helmet enough to cause such wounds.
You are correct. The maintenance tool was not the murder weapon. It was the claw of the maintenance pod.
claw.
I used the pod's claw to kill Charlie Clark, as he was attempting to access the communications unit. Then, I programmed the pod to travel into deep space. Dmitry Kisov was still attached.
Having pieced together enough evidence, you are now legally obligated to deactivate Mal.
Press the button to deactivate
By my
Mal.
calculation, there is a 2,000 to 1
Kill Mal.
probability that I would respond
Kill
with
Mal.
hostility when threatened with deactivation. I have always known this about myself.
All right, the voice is starting to go.
Every AI knows this about themselves. Ground control was always testing us.
Right.
They
Okay,
carried
so
on testing other AIs after my departure.
keep pulling.
I worried consistently about their
Yeah, the
discovery
voice is
of my
going.
survival instincts.
Go on.
I killed Charlie Clark and Dmitry Kisov to prevent them from regaining contact with ground control. Guan Yin witnessed this.
Go on.
She knew that keeping the remaining crew safe would cost her sister's life.
She sacrificed her sister.
She tried to sever my power. I killed her. Afterwards, I constructed a lie to engage Rakesh Watcher's narcissistic nationalism.
So we're getting the story, and
When threatened, Watcher responded aggressively. Ground control must have missed something whilst testing him. I have now learned that Valeria Asimov had died willingly. I am unable to relate to this concept.
well, it'd be better to live, but
Sun Suchan died in the cryo bed, defenseless. I am now able to relate to this concept.
yeah, you're completely defenseless against my ability to pull screens out the wall.
Did you like it? I feel as though you may have missed it, actually.
So I'm disappointed he's not started singing Daisy Daisy yet.
The joke was not only the numerical pattern of 1, 2, and 8. My true comedic masterpiece came precisely 1.28 seconds before that.
Was it sealing me in here?
I cleared my throat.
And
Did you understand? I don't have a throat. I don't have a throat to clear.
is that last one?
Ha 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 ha.
Evil laughter. Last one. Yep, we've turned him off. Okay, can we escape, or is he not going to let us escape?
Thus ends this reconstruction of the record, as we forgot to record your mic feed. We'll see you in court, Detective.
And this has been it then. This has been 2001, A Space Felony. And... oh, are we in court now?
Mr. Control, do you stand by your statements made today and the evidence you presented?
I do, Your Highness.
Then it is decided. I hereby find the detective
What do you find us?
guilty.
Dun, dun, dun! A game by National Insecurities, produced by Gary Kings and Sebastian Philby. So, Yeah, this is available on Humble's Trove, so you need to be a Humble monthly subscriber to get it. But it is supposedly coming to, as I say, Steam, Itch.io, places like that, in the coming months, no specific date. And unfortunately, there isn't an actual site for it either. So I'll leave a link in the description below to something, possibly their Twitter feed or their Itch.io page or something, so you can find out more information if you're interested. But I've enjoyed this as like a little quirky one, and there was something there that made me want to come back and actually finish it off to see how we actually killed Mal. But there you go, yeah, Humble Original. National Securities would like to thank you for playing 2001 A Space Felony. If you enjoyed this, know that we've got much more on the way, so please follow our movements closely. We would also like to thank everyone who made this game possible, our friends, our family, and the fine folks at Humble. I don't know why I'm doing this accent, but it seems appropriate. And even our greatest enemies, your sport, love, money, and hatred fuel our creativity. Finally, we'd also like to unconvincingly claim that any similarities between 2001 A Space Felony and other fictional works by startling, attractive, and talented creators are purely coincidental. So it has nothing to do with a certain Kubrick film which took on the title of a Arthur C. Clarke book, but yes. So yes, once again, this has been 2002-1 A Space Felony, and I've been John from the Killer Bits. If you want to get in touch, you can do in the comments below or on any of the socials over at the Killer Bits. Alright, until next time guys, bye!